Season's greetings, everybody. I'm here with a tutorial on how to build polystyrene snowmen. Our main ingredient is going to be these polystyrene mixed size balls for $1.49. Got them from the range. If we look closely, they come in 3 different sizes. We've got a large, medium, and small. Now you probably have to find a use for some of the smaller ones because for our purposes we're using the large and the medium. We'll also need a metal ball bearing, which is going to slide away consistently. I had to order these online because I couldn't find those from the rail. Stayed still. Super. We'll need some googly eyes as well. Various sizes available. Let's find a couple of small ones. They'll do. And we'll also need these are Art Studio branded black dots. As you can see, I've already used some from this package, but you get a lot. We can make a ton of snowmen just from this one package here. Some coloured foam for the nose. We've got orange. There are various other colours included in this package as well. Yeah. We could make one with red arms, perhaps. I'll just put that in the background. And we'll use the orange as well for the nose. I suppose I could stack these up. Excellent. So let's begin. In terms of tools, we're going to need a 6mm drill bit. This is an 8mm ball bearing. So a 6mm drill. Oh, it's gone again. Let's prop that up with the eyes. $6mm drill bit. So you can see there it's slightly narrower than the ball bearing itself, and that's because the polystyrene is not too solid. So we can make a narrower hole and shove the slightly wider ball through it. And what we're going to want to do is just go for the center of the polystyrene ball. Let that come into focus, and we're aiming to go through the center, the very center of the polystyrene ball. So assuming we can get a straight line through that, as you can see there, I'm at a slight angle, so let's adjust. Wants to be even on all sides. It's difficult to see with my fingers in the way, but straighter the better, because we want this thing to stand up. Now this is going to make some mess because little pieces of polystyrene are going to come out of the hole. And we don't want to break through the other side, but where we can just feel it, you can see there's a slight bit of damage. And you can probably see the light through the other side there. So we've gone almost all the way through, and we can tell there it is a little bit off center, but hopefully not too much. And what we want to do with our finger over the broken bit there, because we don't want to push this all the way through, we're going to put our ball bearing in, so it looks a bit like an eyeball, and shove that with the blunt end of the drill bit. Don't use a power drill, by the way. You're going to hurt yourself. And as with all tools, please use parental guidance. You just want to gently push that all the way towards the end, and that till you can just feel it with your finger there. And when we place this down now, don't know how well you can see that, but the hole is stuck almost straight up. Now you've got the option of using a glue gun, again parental guidance required there, or you can use some PVA glue. It's cheap enough, but it is the slower option. So we're just going to open the lid, put a little glue around the hole. There we go. I've probably put a little bit too much on, but we are going to want to put our head of the snowman on, and we can see there it does have a noticeable tilt, but there are things we can do to mitigate that. That's not the worst I've seen, but it is worth taking your time lining up that initial cut with the drill bit through, and that will yield better results than this. So we're going to come back later when the glue's dried. And we're back. It's actually one I've made earlier. This is the one I've just now glued the head onto. So we'll let that dry in the background. The next bit we're going to want is the dots. And we're going to use 6 in total. 3 for the buttons and 3 for the mouth. So we'll probably speed this section up because it's very repetitive. After separating those from the packaging, we can grab each one. And because they're self-adhesive, we want to stick them straight on. If we let them stick too long to table or whatever other work surface we've got, they will lose their stickiness. And you won't be able to make as many snowmen. So one there. Doesn't matter if they're slightly out of alignment, as long as they're roughly in a line. Makes each one a little bit more unique. And we're going to want to go for the bottom of the head. That one's lost its adhesive. And then slightly up on either side. Give a good press, and it should stay attached. So they look a bit like eyes in a mouth, but our true eyes, as we saw before, are here. So we're just going to want, again, a tiny amount of glue on the back of each one. I don't know how well you can see that there. We just want to stick that on. Just a tiny drop, don't want too much, otherwise it'll take longer to dry. Excellent. So next thing we're going to want to do are the arms. So let's move him to the side for now. Oh, we've got a hole, but doesn't matter too much. Want to cut a rectangle, maybe 10 centimeters long by a centimeter wide. Doesn't have to be exact, but it helps. Right then, and then we're going to want to find halfway point on that and cut it in half. Giving us the base for our 2 separate arms. Excuse me. And then we're going to want to cut a rounded end at the top. Again, get parental assistance if you're not sure. And then we're going to want to cut a wedge shape out to make it look like mittens with a thumb. There we go. And then just below or above, I suppose, depending on which way up you're looking at it, we want to make the arm narrower. There. And on the other side. There we go. So it gets wider at the hand. And then we're going to want to cut the corners off just there at the other end where it's going to join the body, because this is going to make it easier to attach later on. So we'll do the same with this one. Cut that into a nice point. Right then, it helps to decide which way round you want your arms first. So here's a couple I made earlier. So he's got his arms out to the sides like that. And this fellow has his arms reaching up for a hug. And as you can see, arms stuck out has a more horizontal hole for his arms, whereas reaching up for a hug, there are more vertical holes at the front. So you need to decide what pose you want your snowman to be in. I'm going to do reaching out for a hug this time. So with your scissors, we're going to want to make a vertical cut just on the side. Push just very gently. Just need to make a couple of small holes. There we go. So you can see there the holes go up and down. They're vertical holes. Next, we're going to want to put a little bit of glue on the ends. And if you notice, when your hands are up, your thumb is at the top. So we're going to want to do the same with these. Now we can't just push these in. We can use the scissors, again, very carefully. Or if you have a toothpick, you could use a toothpick. And our other arm on the other side. Just going to very carefully push that in. And now he's reaching out for a hug. There we go. So that's going to hold on nicely. So the only thing we're missing now is the nose. And again, the nose is about 1 centimetre long. And all we want to do is cut a little triangle out of the foam like that there. So we'll just cut that. Finish the cut there, and it should come nicely off. We're going to put a little bit of glue on the back. And what we're going to want to do, because our arms have a little hole, but the nose doesn't really need one, we can attach it to the front of our snowman's head, but it's going to droop down. So we're going to want to hold this little fellow backwards, because we've put him down, he's going to spring straight back up. There we go, he's stood up nice and straight, but that nose is going to droop down. So we're going to come back later when everything's dried. Then, when it's finally dry, your new snowman can join the party. Thanks for watching, and have fun making snowmen.